great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney. We have done this show 473 times. Can you believe it? This is number 473. That is hard to believe. I remember when people first proposed that I start counting the number of episodes we've done. I thought that was crazy. And I think back then we were at about 90. So it's been quite some time, and I certainly enjoy doing the show. It's one of my all-time favorite things to do. I love spending time with you guys. I love trying to answer questions. I was talking to my coach the other day, and I was thinking to myself that he's really good at answering my questions because he's answered the same questions over and over. And I think one of the reasons why I've gotten better at this is because I sort of have some topics that I like to cover, some issues that I like to raise, some things and some things to deal with. Hold on, someone's trying to call me out in the comments. Let's see what this is all about. You told me if no action was taken against the motion to dismiss, we'll have a second chance after 4 months. We can try and reach back out to the U.S. attorney and threaten to reopen the lawsuit. Is this true? Of course we can. Whether it'll work, no idea. But yes, that is a possibility. That is something that is in theory possible. Will it work? Let's hope so. All right. Like I said, I'll be here for the next hour answering your immigration law related questions. What do you guys think about the beard? It's coming in. I look sort of wizened and wise, don't you think? That was fun yesterday. I really got fired up at the 30-minute mark, and I was talking about Donald Trump and his plans for immigration if he gets reelected, specifically his plans when it relates to immigration. We're going to cut that as a separate video and release it because I think it's so important. All right, so we got some folks in the waiting room. Hooli is spreading the love. Let us know if you are where you're watching from, what's going on. Leave us a comment. Let us know what's going on with you. If you have any questions, come on into the waiting room and I will try to get to each and every one of them. I would suggest that we start by saying hello to our friend Robert. What's up, Robert?
Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm good.
So it's not really an immigration question per se. It's more of a question. I do agree with you with what you said yesterday about Donald Trump.
Uh-huh.
My question is, for somebody who's in that field like you are, what can you say that we can do on like citizenship, people who are citizens and people that are already here? What can we do at our level to not allow someone like Trump to get in? I get voting. I understand all that, but there's got to be other things that we can do, whether it's join a lobby group or just something. I'm just looking for answers.
I think the most important thing would be to figure out how to help in the swing states. You live in California. Your state is going to go blue no matter what. I live in Missouri. My state's going to go red no matter what you or I do, right? So I would try to figure out, are there ways that I can phone bank or help for candidates in Ohio or Michigan or Pennsylvania, those states that Biden really needs to win. The whole election is going to come down to 6 or 7 states, just like it has the last 2 elections, and things have only gotten tighter. So I would just focus on that and just pushing back on these people that just confound me are the ones who say, oh, they're the same when it comes to immigration, because they're not. And just be kind, be forceful, and just be well informed. I think that's your best bet, and then just be able to have intelligent conversations when the opportunity comes up. I don't think anybody has to go do anything crazy. I would just be ready to talk about it and to call out BS when there's BS.
I just wanted to start to get some feedback and some insight, because I'm somebody that wants to kind of help prosper change, and like you said, my state's not. It doesn't matter if I vote or not. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to, but at the end of the day, California is going to go for Biden or whoever the Democratic nominee is. But like you said, it's going to come down to Ohio, Pennsylvania, and those swing states, and got to do something to, because ultimately Congress is the one that has to fix this issue, and we got to put the right people there.
Congress and a president to sign it.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yep.
Well, that's
Thanks,
all I have.
Robert.
I just want to say thank you for you and your guys' work. And, you know, my wife had her green card. We already took a day trip to TJ a couple weeks ago and came back through easily. So thank you.
Great. Thanks, buddy. Good seeing you. All right. That was our friend Robert Padilla out on the West Coast. Always glad to see Robert. May is here. Hello, May. You're on mute, May.
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you. How you doing?
I'm good. I guess the trick is turning on the camera to get selected.
That is actually indeed the trick. That is 100% the trick. Hey, hold on one second. Remy, you can't sit in the waiting room waiting to just listen. You have to listen to the regular show. Don't use the waiting room for waiting and listening. That's not what it's for. It's for people that want to come on the show. And when you sit in that spot, there's only 10 open spots. So I just kicked Remy out. Hope he doesn't take it personally. All right. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of applying for citizenship next year when I become eligible.
Great.
This will be around April. And next year, like my husband, he doesn't want to do. We've been doing joint taxes for the last 3 years since I've been like applying for the immigration benefits and such. And next year, he's like, he doesn't want to do joint taxes anymore because of the fact that he makes less, I make more, and he's just thinking it would be better if we do married filing separate. So I'm like, my question is like, would that be an issue?
Are you applying on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
The 3-year rule.
So why when you were this close, why can't he wait just one more year? After that, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, like I feel like if he puts his foot down about it, I may would just wait until the 5-year, until like 2025.
I mean, how much money are you talking about? The difference? What's the difference? Is it even $1,000?
No, it's like 50 grand difference.
50 grand income, 50 grand back to you guys if you file separately?
No, like I don't know what's gonna happen if we file separately. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to file jointly anymore.
You are my husband. I need to get my citizenship. I need you to do this for me. Why are you not doing this? This is stupid and mean.
Yeah. Okay. So it will pose an issue.
It doesn't help. And why hand them an issue when you've already got 3 good years in a row?
Yeah. Okay, I have one more question also.
Go for it.
So I have some friends that just moved here from Jamaica, and I actually took out a lease in my name for them because
Why would you do that?
Because they wanted to live close by where I live, and they didn't meet the income requirement for the building that they wanted to move into.
But guess what?
I'm just trying to help.
Listen. Now you have a lease that is available from USCIS if they were to so search for it. And we now have a husband who doesn't want to file joint taxes, and we have someone who has a lease for another apartment.
Yeah. So I just created a problem there for myself, huh?
Yes, sweetheart. In the 16 years I've been doing immigration, no one has ever told me they got a lease for somebody else. I've never heard that. That probably happens. Maybe in the comments, everybody will say, "Oh yeah, Jim, that happens all the time." But literally, you're the first person to ever say that to me.
Because they're like family.
There's other solutions that don't involve my wonderful woman who wants to become a U.S. citizen putting her name on a lease for them. There's other ways to skin that cat. There have to be.
Yeah.
There's other apartments in the world. There's other ways to solve this. So this is an example of something that should be relatively simple, that's sort of being threatened by not great decisions.
So if I just drop it like the lease, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, is it a 1-year lease? Is it your name? I mean, what if they don't pay the rent? What if they don't pay the rent? Then what happens?
Yeah.
Then the landlord sues you. And then when the landlord sues you, you know what that means? That means it's in the court record. And so when they run May's name right before the naturalization interview, which is, they don't work very hard, but that's one of their easy things that they can do, is just to run a search for your name. And then, oh, look, May's being sued by her landlord. Wait, this isn't the address she has on her N400. What's going on here? Does she really live with this guy? And oh, look, he filed separately. Something's going on. You know, we should delay this case and see if they get divorced, and then she'll have to file all over again. Or even better, we should go out and knock on the door at that lease and figure out who's living there and why she's got this other man living there.
Yeah. It's a couple. But
Yeah, but when they knock on the door, maybe the man's the one that answers, or maybe the woman's the one that answers. They're like, who are you guys? Where's May?
yeah, I see the point. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll try to fix it.
You're this close, sweetheart. That close.
Yeah.
Thanks, May.
All righty.
See ya. Don't want to sabotage our own cases, especially when we're that close. Gladys is here. Hello, Gladys.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. This question I have is for my brother-in-law. He's been waiting and he's been struggling very hard for the past since 2016. So his priority date is December 28 of 2016. This is an overseas case of the consulate in Mexico.
Filed by whom?
This is marriage.
So you're telling me he's married to a green card holder or a U.S. citizen?
U.S. citizen.
And his case has been pending for 7 years?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What happened?
So his I-130 is being approved November 29th in 2017. So his I-130 is being approved before they even got a daughter. So they are in 2020 they have a daughter. It's there's no questions about legitimate marriage. They've been married for so long.
So has he been to the United States before?
No,
he's never been to the United States.
He's been in the United States, but it has to be a overseas case. So he submitted the I-601A.
Yeah, so that's why it's taken so long. Yeah, so okay, so let's back up. So when did he come to the United States originally?
2012.
And he entered without inspection.
Correct.
And then he was just hanging out with no status, and he married this U.S. citizen.
Correct.
And then she filed an I-130 petition for him, and that got approved.
Yes.
And then they filed an I-601A waiver, and that got approved. So he went out of the country. And then when he got to Mexico, they said, there's another reason why you need a 601 waiver.
No, he hasn't been out. So he's waiting for the appointment to go out to the consulate.
So the 601A got approved?
No, I mean, he got approved back in 2019, the waiver, but when he goes and check the status and then he's been waiting, all it says is last case updated. We still waiting to be scheduled your interview, and nothing else has been updated. So he's been waiting.
You mean at MVC?
Yes.
So you said the waiver got approved 4 years ago, and he's waiting for an interview in Juarez?
Yes, he's waiting. He's been waiting. He's been sitting waiting for the interview and nothing.
And he only had the one entry?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your question for me, Gladys?
I mean, I told him about you guys that if waiting too long is that good time for him to sue? What if he has to wait, or what if he has to do at this point?
Well, here's what I'll say. The State Department has had his case for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
4 years. Where does he live? He's still in the United States, right? Where does he live?
Utah right now.
Utah. Okay. So, I think it's easy for the State Department to tell a judge when the person's only been waiting a year or two. Judge, this hasn't been too long, but 4 years, that to me seems like a pretty long time, don't you think?
That's why he's already desperate. He says, I don't know what else to do, because he goes in line and check, and it says case create for the State Department website, and it says case created December 14, 2017. Last case updated June 24, 2022. And it says that his interview will be scheduled, and that's all it says.
Okay. I think you should say, what's his first name?
Jose.
I think you should say, Jose, we should set a meeting for you and me and Jim to talk about your situation, and he'll explain to you. And how's his English? Is his English good? Because I can have someone in Spanish explain it to him too.
Yeah, he will need someone in Spanish. He speaks okay English.
Yeah.
I think he can handle it.
Yeah, either way. I mean, usually what I'll do, Juli can be on there with me, and she can fill in the legal words in Spanish, because I don't know those for sure. So why don't you send an email and say, this is Gladys, I was just on with Jim, and Jose and I need to talk to him. It'll probably be early next week, Gladys, because we're doing our firm retreat at the end of the week.
Okay.
But we can set it up. Go ahead and send an email.
So send the email now, and you guys will get back to him next week then?
To you, yeah. Put him and you on the email, and then we'll follow up. Put all of us in the email, okay?
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Gladys. See ya. Yep, for sure. All right. Hey, look at this. Our buddy Jamal's getting married in a few weeks. Can you believe it? And then he's going overseas to get working on that case. Jamal's been waiting a long time. I remember when he said November or December, I was like, man, that seems like a long time from now, but there we are. All right, so let's go to Alex. Hello, Alex. You're on mute. You're on mute, buddy.
I'm fine. I'm doing great.
Awesome. How can I help you?
Okay.
I like those lights. I like those lights.
Okay. Let me up them then.
No, I like them. It's great.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm talking to you from Ghana direct, West Africa.
Nice.
And then my wife has been living in the state for over almost 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
She filed for a petition for me, my F-21. That was almost, I think next year will be exactly 5 years ago, before the COVID, around 2019. But it has been pending at MVC for some time now. So, like, she started her naturalization process.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's the priority date? Oh, where did he go? Oh, I guess got bad electricity over in Ghana. Maybe he'll come back. Let's say hi to Anna again. Hi, Anna.
Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. Hi. Hi, Jim. Just wanted to let you know something pretty quick and ask you something pretty quick. So I'm going to have to, do you remember my situation?
The divorce decree number 1.
Well, it's on its way. So I'm going to have it hopefully by Friday, the latest. I got it. So, but I wanted to ask you something, and I really hope, I don't want anybody to take it on the wrong idea, but I need to ask. Is it because the National Visa Center, like I said yesterday, they never ask for this divorce decree, and not even the consulate. So my question is, the interview is based on the information that is on the forms, or is they like at the consulate, they check backgrounds of my husband? I mean, I just want to put myself in all the scenarios here.
You should assume they're going to ask you, and that is how they find out.
Okay, so the worst scenario is that they're going to ask me, how many marriages has your husband had before? And I have to say, yes, he have been married twice before me. But
Yep,
what
if they say, why didn't he list both of them on the I-130 or on the DS-260? You could say, I'm not sure. I think what he told me when I asked him was, it was because the one was so long ago and he thought he only had to list one. And oh, by the way, here's that divorce decree in case you have any questions. We weren't trying to hide anything. I mean, you don't really gain anything. As long as he's legally divorced, you didn't gain anything. So any misrepresentation is not really important. or crucial to whether or not you get the visa. So they would really just be punishing you for a mistake as opposed to something that you benefited from by hiding or lying about, right?
No, never. That was never the intention. And actually, on my husband's defense, I was looking at our previous emails the first time that we were filing this form. I have to say, we had an immigration lawyer that was helping us. We started this process back in 2018. That's how long this process has been.
Well, I'd be asking them why they didn't list both divorces on the I-130. You could blame the attorney too.
Yeah, and actually, what I was reading on my records on that email that this lawyer sent is basically, first of all, we never saw the forms. She actually asked for us, like, put the information of your ex-wife, name, address, and children. And that's what my husband did. But it never said, name all your marriages that you have prior this one. So I already print those emails and I have it with me just in case.
I'd be a little careful about saying that we never read the I-130. That would be a dumb thing to say.
Okay. But I mean, they know that we have an immigration lawyer that, somehow guide us on filling the forms.
So here's the thing, Anna. I don't want you to say jack shit unless they ask you. And if they ask you anything, say things with one word or two words. Don't jump into blaming everybody else or explaining a bunch of stuff. Just answer each question that is asked.
Okay. So to make this short.
Do you want to practice?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Oh, thank you for coming in today, Anna. This is I'm Officer Hacking. I'm with the Department of State. We're gonna check into your DS-260 and your application, and then they'll ask you some background information. So, Anna, how many times in your life have you been married?
I'm sorry, Jim. You were cutting off, and now I can hear what you're saying. So I didn't hear it. Okay.
How many times in your life have you been married?
I've been married once before this marriage.
Okay. And what was the date of your divorce?
My date of my divorce was in June 2014. I can't remember the exact date. Well, I have to practice that. Okay.
How about your spouse? How many times was he ever married before he married you?
Yes, he was married before me. Yes.
How many times was he married?
He was married twice before me.
Okay. And so I looked over your I-130 that was filed with USCIS, and then I went ahead and looked over the DS-260, and it looks like on there it says he's only been married one time. Do you know why it doesn't say two? Which is right? Is it one or is it two?
Well, he was married twice.
Stop. I asked you, was it one or two? So you say one or two. You don't say other stuff. One or two.
He was married 2 times.
Nope. Two. Just two.
Oh, just 2. Okay.
The least amount of words that you can say.
Okay.
Because I think you're a little chatty kind of a person.
I am.
Yeah. So you don't want to be too chatty. Yeah, like AJ said, 2 times. That's it. That's perfect. Okay.
2 times.
So
okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Do you have any idea why your husband or why this I-130 says that he was only married once?
Well, he understood that he has to put the information of his last marriage.
Okay, that sounds like a lawyer answer as opposed to a regular person. So I would say something like, I'm not sure. He should have put both. He's been married twice. He's been divorced twice. And then be quiet.
Okay, so
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He should have put 2 because it's 2. Everybody knows it's 2. Here's divorce decree number 1. Here's divorce decree number 2. Silence. Don't fill in the gap. There's gonna be times where the officer is looking around. You don't want to fill that gap with too much talking.
I understand. Okay.
All right.
Scared.
Good luck. Let us know how it goes. Okay.
I promise I will call you on Tuesday.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. I'll get you. Bye. All right. Looks like Alex is back. All right, Alex. Let's try this again. Start over for me. So you were married to a green card holder, right? You're on mute.
I was married to a green holder from almost 5 years now. And
she's
then,
for citizenship.
yeah, she has applied for a citizenship, hoping that when she gets her citizenship, she's going to change my case for me from F21 to maybe IR1.
Right.
And then it has been almost 1.5 years now. She had her biometric in 7th of June of this year.
Where does she live?
Virginia, Alexandra.
How did she get her green card?
Through lottery.
Okay. So that could be, I mean, a year and a half for naturalization in Virginia, that's pretty slow. We've had some naturalization cases recently up in Virginia, and they took about 5 or 6 months.
So I just don't know what is really happening. And then I even talked to her about we getting in touch with you to help us speed the case, but she's still insisting that I think we are close, so we still need to wait. And I continue telling her that the State Department is a department that cannot be predicted. You understand? It can take longer. It depends how things are happening. But you are not there. You may be thinking, oh, tomorrow, 3 days, 4 days, a month, 2 months, 3 months.
It does, right. That's coming right around the corner.
And then by the time you realize a year plus, and still you will still be there. And then she doesn't want to listen to me.
What when for timing wise, when she won the diversity visa, you guys weren't married, right?
No, sir.
You got married after she was in the United States and had her green card.
Yes, sir.
And so the receipt date for the I-130 that she filed for the N-400 is a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was June. Is it June 23rd or so of last year?
So why don't you tell her? This is what I would do if I were you. I would say, hey, I know you don't want to call Jim and sue them just right now, but can we agree on a date sometime in the future? Maybe it's January 1st, maybe it's June of 2024, whatever it is. Let's write it down on a piece of paper. I'm going to put it up on my wall. You put it up on my wall, on your wall. And if we don't have, I mean, that's unusual for a year and a half. Now, I've noticed lately, and this is for everybody listening, I've noticed lately that USCIS has been looking hard at DV cases when the people apply for citizenship. So I don't know if that's a new policy thing they're doing or what, but we've seen it probably 2 or 3 times in the last couple months, and that's sort of like an increase. So the fact that you're telling me that it's a year and a half when I know Alexandria is usually 6 months, I don't know. But usually that what they're looking at is if the DV winner said they were married but weren't really married, or got married fast and tried to get someone else a green card. So if you're her only spouse, then I don't think we have to worry about that. So I would just say, look, baby, let's pick Valentine's Day. Let's pick St. Patrick's Day. Let's pick June 24, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay.
See you, buddy.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got it. Oh. See you, man. I like that lighting. It sort of matched my tie, don't you think? All right. Capitano, if you want to email me. I'm not going to talk about your case in the comments. All right. Ola's been waiting. Hello, Ola.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing? Go ahead, Ola. Hello, Ola. We'll come back, Ola. Eunice is next. Hello, Eunice. Hi, Eunice. I don't know. Is it me? I don't know. Is it me, Yuli? Can you hear me? All right. Let's see what V has to say. V? Hello, V.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
Doing good. Do you mind taking me off camera?
You are off camera, V.
Awesome. So, actually, I talked to you a few days ago. No, not 2 days, like a few weeks ago. So let me tell you a little bit about my case. So I'm a F1 student, and me and my wife my wife is US citizen. We applied for my green card, filled up all the forms, I-130, all those forms. And recently I got a medical RFE. We submitted that. And initially it was saying they have received it. And now current status is we are actively reviewing. And I just had a call with my wife. And also, by the way, I'm a student in a different school, like about 3 hours away from my wife. She's a student in a different school. She's doing a PhD there. I'm doing my PhD here. So I just had a call with my wife. She told me that we just recently received another RFE today, and I don't have the detail yet, but they're basically asking for more evidences like financial documents, maybe like photographs, any children which we are not planning to have, but those kind of things they're asking. So so what should I do right now? Like what kind of evidences should I collect?
So here's the deal, V. When you apply for a green card based on marriage and you live apart from each other, then there's a totally different kind of case that you have to put together.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is you're going to have a stronger case than a regular case. So that's the first thing you have to understand, that if you live apart, they're going to say to themselves, why do they go ahead and get married so soon and then apply for an immigration benefit when they don't even live together? Why not wait till they live together like most people that apply for green cards?
Yeah, just a quick further information which I want to let. We live apart, but we meet on every weekend. We are like 3 hours away.
Hold on. But I'm going to get to that. That's part 2. We're still on part 1. Part 1 is I want you to acknowledge to me, to admit to me that you understand that if you have one address on the I-130 and she has a different address on the I-130, or if they know that you're working or living somewhere other than where she is, I want you to understand that it's a harder case, not impossible, but a harder case to win. Is that fair?
I agree. I think now, actually, initially I was thinking it won't be that hard, but now retroactively I'm thinking, yes, it should be hard.
Right. So then let's talk about what's hard. Now, I have a great video on this where I lay it all out. Okay. So try to find it. But basically, when you live apart from your spouse, there's 3 things that you have to prove extra. Okay. Number 1, why do we live apart? Why do we live apart? So I need a contract or school paperwork that shows that I'm working, or I'm working on my PhD and I'm in Pittsburgh and she's in Philadelphia, or I'm in Columbus and she's in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
So that's number 1, why? And you got to document it. You can't just say this is why. Number 2, what you just said, proof that we go see each other every weekend or every other weekend. Because I've had cases where the couple lives apart and they see each other every 6 months. And I've had cases where people see each other every weekend. Which do you think is stronger?
Every weekend.
And so you have to give them proof of that. If you buy gas to go there, if you fly there, whatever it is. And then the third one, and probably the most important of the 3, is what is the long-term plan? What is the long-term plan? So when we get past me getting my PhD and her getting PhD, what is the plan for the 2 of us to be together? And how do I document that? So it might be 2 years from now, right? But we're gonna at least have statements from both of us saying, hey, dude, we know it looks a little strange that we're living separately, but there's a perfectly good reason for that. And our plan is to live together in New York City in 2 years from now, right?
Yeah. So, like some evidences, for example, I have pictures of us together. Maybe I don't think so. I have ever collected gas receipts. But I do have my admission letter to my school, my stipends which I get from there. I have all those. I can collect those, and she also has it over there.
Well, then, if you don't have the gas receipts, I would be creative. And how am I going to create this evidence? At the very least, I would have a list of all the weekends that we travel to see each other, or
Okay.
pictures, right? So be creative. You're getting your PhD. She's getting her PhD. You guys aren't dumb people, right? So
Yeah.
so work on this. Have a little fun with it, and just say, look, if I had to convince somebody from Mars that we love each other, what would I have to submit? And that do all that. And if you're getting an RFE now for marital evidence, you should get updated versions of everything else that you already submitted.
Your voice just cut off completely. Do you mind what you said? Do you mind repeating what you said?
Yeah. If you
were talking about Mars, and I lost after that.
Okay. If pretend that you're trying to explain to someone from Mars that you're married, you're trying to convince them. So treat it like they don't know anything, right? Like your friends know and your family knows, oh yeah, well, they're both getting their PhD. Well, they don't know that, right? So you got to explain it, you got to walk them through it, right? And then what I was saying is, if you're going to be doing all that, don't forget to also give them updated evidence of what you already gave them. So if you gave them bank statements a year ago, give them new bank statements.
Yes. Because initially the bank statement which we gave them, it had like few transactions. Now it is like filled with it. We have like auto payments, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of them. I have one more question. Do you think I should? And I'm basically taking your advice on this. Do you think I need a lawyer in this case, or I can just collect all the documents by myself and just send it to them?
You're pretty darn close. I think that you understand what I'm saying. You seem like a pretty smart fellow. So, I mean, we'd be happy to help you with it, but I think you got it.
Okay. Yeah, but that's where I was confused. I was like, not sure exactly what they were asking. And just on a side note, I had like this weird status of when I applied for the EAD card. So their status was funny. Initially, they said, "Oh, we have reviewed it. We have approved your green card, and we're sending you the not the green card. Sorry, the EAD card. We are sending you the receipt notice." And they sent me the receipt notice. And then after that, few days later, I got another status which says that they reopened that EAD card. Although I don't really need an EAD card, but I was kind of confused, like exactly what was going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I would just focus on the RFE when you get it.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's pretty much what what my questions were.
Thank you, V. See you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Yep. All right. That was a good call. All right. Charlie Clown says, Jim, please denounce what Hamas is doing in Gaza. You're a peaceful Muslim, I believe. I am indeed a peaceful Muslim, Charlie. I also deplore what Hamas did on October 7th. But as far as you asking me to be a monkey for you, you can fuck off, because I'm not a monkey. I don't do what people tell me to do. I'm not here to perform for you. I don't owe you a goddamn thing. So don't ever ask me something like that again. Latoya is here. Hello, Latoya.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Thank you for taking me.
Sure. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I'm good now. I'm talking to you. Not stupid monkey questions.
That made me laugh.
It's been a long week. It's only Thursday or Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday. So my question is, my son, he petitioned for me. I'm Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Tennessee, so he petitioned for me. They received the documents August 7th, and I got approval for a work permit and a social. I think it's a temporary social.
It'll be your social. It'll stay your social number, but yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, because I'm a bit anxious because my husband and my children are in Jamaica and I want to start the process for them. But I was wondering, how long from now will I be getting an answer for the green card or the travel documents?
So this is an interesting thing. So your son is a U.S. citizen?
He is, yes.
He's over 21.
Previous marriage.
He's over 21?
He is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so how old was he when you formed the relationship with the person that is back in Jamaica?
He was about 9 years old.
He was 9 when the person that you're married to now and you got married.
No, we have been married for 5 years. So he was about 17 at the time.
About 17? Because that's the magic question. If he was under 18, then he might be able to file for him. Your son might be able to file for him if he was under 18 when the relationship was formalized in a marriage.
He was under 18. He was about 17 thereabouts.
So we have to explore that possibility, because that would cut things down. Because right now, let's play it out. Let's say you become a green card holder on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
If you apply for your spouse and children, there's a delay there now that wasn't there before, right? So how old are your kids?
My daughter is 15. I have a 9-year-old, and the youngest is 6.
Okay, so they should all be fine. So there's a slight delay right now for the spouses and children of green card holders. It's been bad and good. So that's just something we'd have to play around with. But dad might be able to come through. We have to think it through, though, because somebody's got to stay behind with the kids. And it sounds like your green card's pretty much on a fast track. Were you in status at the time that your son filed for you?
In status, meaning I was on a visiting visa. Yeah,
So
up in
how did it
August.
work? You entered when, and when did he file the I-130?
I entered January of this year, and
You applied
he
in August.
filed this year.
So you were out of status at the time he applied, because you'd only get six months entry, which would be
6 months. So January.
that's 1 + 6 is 7. That's July.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's okay either way. Okay, so I need to think this through, but basically, the kids can only come through you. The dad can probably come through your son. But you have to ask yourself, is it better off to have everybody come together? And if so, then, and it might be cheaper. Yeah. Well, you have to do the kids yourself. Oh, this is like a law school exam question. Well, let me ask you this. What's your question? Because I'm going off on all these tangents.
Yeah, well, actually, that's my question. How long from now should I expect? Because when I check the status online, it says that still waiting for.
Well, here's the problem. Do you know about the visa bulletin? Do you know what the visa bulletin is?
Mm-hmm.
So the visa bulletin, there's just a 2-month wait backlog on filing for your spouse and children, but there's a 4-year wait on them actually getting a green card or a visa. So even if let's say you get your green card on January 1st, if you apply for them, there's like a 4-year wait on them coming to the United States with green cards. That's the problem. So your case is sort of easy. Your husband's case is sort of easy. It's the kids that are tricky.
Yeah.
Because they can't come through your son who's here. They have to come through you. They have to wait for you to get your green card. And currently there's a 4-year wait.
I see. So based on, I was told that based on where I am, I'm in Tennessee. So
your case is going to go fast. I'm not worried about your case at all. But the problem is, if you got your green card yesterday, it's still a 4-year wait for your kids.
For the children. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to do your husband's just to get his stuff moving. I mean, he'd be able to come back and forth. You guys could tag team and go back.
Yeah.
Or you could file for a reentry permit and go back and wait with the kids. But really, that's how it has to be. You have to get your green card. And then either they all get it with him or you get it for him and then the kids separately.
Okay.
All right.
Food for thought. Thank you so very much.
Bye, LaToya. Yep.
All
See,
right.
then, of course, well, it'll take 5 years for you to become a citizen. So that'll probably still be faster. Okay, great. Thanks for the call.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Bye. Subho's here. Hello, Subho.
Hi. I had a question regarding my H-1B visa status.
Okie doke.
So, am I audible? Okay, yeah. I got my initial stamping back in 2022, and that expired somewhere around August. And before that, my extension was filed by my employer. That extension is still in process. It hasn't been approved yet, but now that my project is ending, I have to go back to India and join my employer's Indian headquarters. So I was wondering if it would be okay if I go like before approval comes through, or should I go for premium processing, try to get the approval before I leave the States?
That's a good question. So you're worried about like this limbo status you've been in while you've
Mhm.
been. No, I think that H-1B status just carries over and protects you. I don't think you have to worry about like this time period since you applied going against you. You did everything you were supposed to, and once you got benched, you went back home. So I think you're fine.
All right. Yeah, so my confusion is because it's the same company, but they basically terminate me from here and they rehire me in the Indian HQ. So I didn't know if the extension would carry forward. And
you can leave it pending, but if there's no, I mean, you might want to have them withdraw it if you're not going to use it, just to keep things clean, but after you leave.
all right. No, I want to use it, so there is a chance they'll send me back sometime later in the year. I
Okay.
just don't know when it would be.
And just let it process and see what happens.
All right.
That's a whole reason not to do premium processing.
Got
Just
it.
if you think things might turn around.
All right. All right. And this doesn't really risk my H-1B status or make me go through the lottery again at a later point in time.
You've already counted against the lottery. Yep.
All right. Sounds good. That was all.
Bye,
Thank you.
Silva. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
See ya. Yep. All right. Ola is back. Ola, you there? There she is.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. So I don't know, you probably might not remember, but I was on last week and I explained how my husband's I-30 was finally approved after 4 years. They had to actually reopen the case because there was an error on their end. So we're just waiting on the approval notice for the I-40, but we did receive a notice that the I-485 was reopened after the error that they made. But the only thing is that the I-485 is just asking for, it's just saying we have reopened your case. We're just asking for a little bit more evidence, but it doesn't in fact tell us what evidence. It just kind of says this is what you need to do, and under that there's like no information, and then it says it needs to be submitted by February of 2024, but there's like no information on what needs to be submitted. Now the reason why the I-130 was denied was because they stated they didn't receive the request for evidence for the notice intent to deny, which they did. That was where the error was. They received it by hand.
I remember.
So, so we submitted a 601, I think, waiver, I believe, and that was our response to the notice of intent to deny. So they finally reopened it because when they saw the proof that it was actually submitted. Mm-hmm. So I guess the confusion is the 485 was sent to us also asking for evidence. So, but it's not telling us what evidence is needed. And then we also had the 601 waiver that we already submitted way before when we received the notice of intent to deny back in August.
Ola, would it be okay if we sort of started at the beginning and went chronologically? Because I'm sort of all over the place on this.
Sure.
So you're married to a U.S. citizen, right? I mean, you're a U.S. citizen and you're married to a national. You filed an I-130 and a 485 for that person.
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Oluwa Shegun.
Oluwa. Okay, so you filed an I-130 for Oluwa, and it ultimately got denied because they said you didn't respond to annoyed. Your lawyer had proof that he had hand delivered it. Yes. They reopened that I-130, and he had your partner had some kind of inadmissibility problem for which they had asked you an I-601. They had sent you annoyed, and to which you had filed a 601 waiver.
Yes.
And then eventually you were able to get the I-130 reopened and the 45 reopened, and then nothing.
And the I-30 was approved.
Approved, and then the 485, nothing's really happened. It's just been sitting in limbo.
They actually, as soon as they approved the I-130, they sent the letter for the I-45 just a few days ago, and it just says request for evidence, and then it says what you need to do, and then it has nothing under what you need to do. It just says you must provide the following information in order for us to make a final decision on your case, but there's no.
And then it's blank?
Yeah, it's blank, and then it says your response must be received by this date, and that's it. It doesn't have like what we need to submit or anything like that.
Did you
So I
call
wasn't sure if that's an error.
Yeah, that's an error. Did you call them?
No, we didn't call them. I think that's the next step we wanted to do because we thought maybe they're just asking for general evidence, but
What
we're
field?
kind of
What field office? These people are morons. What field office is this?
Fairfax, Prosperity Avenue or Lane.
Dude, I would just go down there. I would just go down there and mock them and say, "Look at this.
Yeah.
You guys sent me a request for evidence and there's nothing in it. What am I supposed to do?" And like ask to see a supervisor. Say, "This is ridiculous. My case has been pending my husband's been trying for 5 years to get his green card."
Right.
That's what I would
Yeah,
do. I would go down there. I would say, "I'm here to talk to a supervisor. I got this request for evidence." I hopefully security. If you can get past security, you can talk to that lady at the front desk.
Okay.
And I would try that first, and then I would start calling.
Okay. Awesome.
It's ridiculous.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. It's been a crazy ride, but thank you.
Bye, Ola. All right. Well, I think I have my TikTok topic, an RFE with nothing in it. This is what you need to do, but we're not going to tell you what it is. Idiots. Erdem is here. Hello, Erdem.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Initially, I would like to briefly express that I'm totally impressed by your speech about the upcoming effort of Republicans for immigrants. You are doing your job beyond desire, not for financial liabilities. Obviously, it touched my heart. And
Thank
briefly, I have a pending asylum case. I came over here with a visa. Within 1 year, I filed my case in New York. Now I moved to San Francisco. Through my lawyer, when we completed the process of address change, I have never received any kind of receipt from new office as regards my address change. Is that normal?
How did you update your address? Did you notify the asylum office, or did you just do it?
I did through my lawyer, but he informed me that they made online application and then they they sent a written petition to New York office as well.
That's all you can do. Yeah.
Okay. And I have another quick question. Maybe you are aware of that. There is an ongoing interview as regards to new budget issue in the Congress, and there's a group called Republican Senate Work Group or something like that. They have attempt to restrict asylum policies. For instance, they have a small item in that application which says that there wouldn't be a second bite, which briefly means that for people who came with a visa, once they are denied, they wouldn't have a chance to get their case heard second time in the court. If they approve something like this right now, or when someday if government changes, if they change something in this implementation, would it affect my case, or would it be valid for the upcoming cases? Does it work backwards, or?
That's a great question. There's a provision in the United States Constitution, in I think it's the 8th Amendment, called the ex post facto law, which prohibits Congress from passing laws that apply backwards like that. Now, do I think that law is ever going to take place? No, I do not. So I don't think you need to worry about that.
So I will still have a chance
in any event, hold on, let me finish. In any event, even if that law did pass, I think it'd be very hard for them to apply that retroactively to you. I think you would have both options, the asylum office and the immigration court. I think if they were to try to do that to you and everybody else, that would be what's called depriving you of a liberty interest retroactively, and they would get in trouble for that.
Okay, then thank you for sparing your precious time to me. I'm proud of you, and my prayers with you. May
Thanks,
you and your family have a great day. Thank you.
Good luck with your asylum case.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good luck. Yep. Bye. Sohaib is here. Hello, Sohaib. You're on mute or something. Can't hear you, bro.
Me, sir?
Now I can hear you. Thank you.
Hi. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, just a quick question. We are in such a little bit of murky water. Okay, I'm from Pakistan, and I'm living in Durban, South Africa. I'm married to a US-born citizen. My wife lives in Illinois, Clinton, and my I-130 interview was on 31st of August. and they say, no, your Pakistan marriage, where you were both were not present on that day, we don't accept that marriage. So our marriage, I mean, the was happened in the mosque in Durban. So they say you have to go to the Home Affairs, I mean the South African authority, and you have to get that. At the time of interview, we got a pink slip that was written that you have to provide us uh, the South African government's unabridged certificate of marriage, and on October we provide them, and then I think after a few days we got a call. I got a call that since your marriage was done in October 2023, so we will nullify your case and you have to start over again. And
That sounds right.
that, yeah. And then
So
my
hold on. Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up, Sohaib. So
yes, please. Sure.
The person that you're married to, they're a U.S. citizen? Were they born in the United States?
Yes, she's born in the United States.
Is she like a white lady? A white lady?
Yeah, she is.
And have you met her face to face?
Yeah, she came to Durban just before 2 days before marriage, but we were talking on Facebook for a very long time.
Why didn't you get married face to face?
Yeah, she came. I provide her ticket and everything, and she came here in Durban, and then we get married.
You got married face to face?
Yes, yeah, she was here.
I thought you said they were saying that you weren't both present at the marriage.
Yeah, see, the problem was my mosque nikah, I mean the marriage certificate, was just only the local marriage certificate. Then I sent my documentation in Pakistan authorities, and they accept my marriage. And
Habibi. So when did you file this case?
I filed this case in 2020, February 2023.
The whole case, you started it in February 23?
Yes, and then it accepted on 2022, and they took 1 year, and they approved on 2023, and then I got my medical and all those things, and they gave me the interview on.
So hey, you know I'm Muslim, right?
Okay, that's good.
And so I deal with people from Muslim countries all the time, right?
Yes.
So you hand delivered them a very, very easy way to deny the case. So I say this with all the love and respect that I can, but the hardest thing to do is for a white lady to bring a Muslim guy from Pakistan who's in Durban, South Africa, to the United States. The hardest thing. So your case has to be perfect, right? So just so you know this too, I'll tell you this.
Yes, please.
I have been in 3 interviews in the last 5 years with FBI agents, and their number one issue of concern is white ladies going and marrying men from Pakistan. They're on high alert. So you've got to be perfect if you try this again. You've got to have first of all, you have to check what is the law in the country in which I'm being married. You've got to check what's called the visa reciprocity table. It'll say who issues the marriage license, what color paper it is, what the seal looks like. You've got to have that perfect. And you're going to need a whole lot of evidence if you're going to convince them that this white lady's marriage to you is real. They do not want to let you come. You have a very hard road to hoe. This is not an easy case. And now you got a denial.
And my wife did contact Mr. Dick Durbin, I think he's a senator in Illinois, and they contact.
You don't need Dick Durbin. You just need a really strong case.
So what you suggest?
I suggest that you and your wife talk to us, and I yell at you both for 20 minutes to see if I can scare the crap out of her and see if she's really ready for this. Because this is a hard fight. You guys just lost 18 months because you didn't do it right. If you're going to do it again,
Right.
do it right. This is not an easy case.
Right. But I'm a very clean guy. I mean, I've never been arrested or nothing. There's nothing in my account. And
I
we got
100% believe you, but they're racially and religiously profiling. I want you to do this one thing for me. I got to go in a minute. There's this thing.
Sure.
There's this thing called CARP, CARRP. It's a program to CARP, Controlled Application Review and Resolution Program. Look it up. It's a
Right.
program by the government to slow down immigration to the United States for people from Muslim countries. It's a real thing. So this is a tough
Right.
case. I got to go. So, Habe, I'm over time, buddy. Okay.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yep.
much for your time. Take care.
Yep. If you need our help, let us know. See you, buddy.
Sure. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Tomorrow's show, 1 p.m. Central, and no show on Friday. So I figured out what I'm going to do about not doing a show on Friday, because I told you I would do 30 shows. Sometime next week, I'm going to do a 2-hour show. We'll see. Maybe got to build up my muscle to the 5-hour show. You don't have to be there for the whole thing if you don't want to for 2 hours. That's a long time. But thanks, everybody, for joining us. That was fun. We're looking forward to our retreat. A lot of our team members are coming in tomorrow. Tony says getting yelled at by Jim is a privilege. I don't know about that, but it was fun. That guy made me mad. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.